welcome back, and today we're doing another 5 products video, and today I'm talking about my favorite face powders. These are all powders that I have either hit pan on, I've repurchased because I've destroyed them, or I'm about to hit pan on, and I've got one honorable mention as well. So if you want to see what my favorite face powders are, ranging from drugstore to high-end, then stick around. Alright guys, the first one I want to talk about is the most affordable, and I probably had it and loved it the longest, and this is my e.l.f. tone correcting powder. This one says it's in cool. I believe there's another one, but I don't use that one. So very much, this one is $3, and it is very much like the NARS packaging. This is a repurchase because I killed the first one, and I love this powder. It's got the green tone, the yellow, pink, and the blue. I take this with me traveling a bunch because generally when I'm traveling, I just want to wear a light foundation and something that's really going to even out my skin tone. So what I'll do is I'll use this yellow powder right here, and I'll just take it with an e.l.f. small tapered brush, this one right here, and I'll set my concealer, whatever concealer I'm wearing, and then I'll take a kabuki brush and just swirl it all in there and just lightly dust it all over my face. I love this powder. It really does even out and correct and cool down any discoloration, redness you have in your face, and just adds a beautiful natural coverage to the skin without making it look heavy or cakey. So if you are somebody who has issues with discoloration and you don't want to try like the Revlon meteorites, which are like cost you your firstborn child, this is such a great affordable option. I love it. And when I run out of this one, because this is my second one, it already has a huge dip in it, especially in that yellow shade, this will be repurchased. So good. Another really kind of first powder love for me was the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural. I'm in the shade medium because I believe I bought mine in the summertime. I actually need to go back and get it in light. This is my second one, and I have already hit crazy pan on this one. So this one, again, will be a repurchase. This was my first ever MAC product, and so I think it's special in that, but I also love the powder because it is so light, but again, it can add some coverage, but it's not mattified cakey coverage. It's a nice luminous kind of blurring effect to the skin. This powder does have mica in it, so it adds a beautiful natural luminosity to the skin without being overly sparkly and over the top. It's just beautiful. It is one of the most natural finish powders that you can get, and I think it is definitely worth the money. This will, again, I will be repurchasing this one probably around my birthday because I love it. The next powder I want to talk about is actually I use interchangeably with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, and this is the Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder. This is not the mattified one. This is the original formula. This is the new one because I absolutely destroyed my old one. It was done. I used everything I could in that pan, but I love this powder. This powder is like $6, I want to say. I want to say it's like under $6. It is one of the softest, most beautiful powders in the drugstore. Again, it adds a nice layer of kind of coverage without being too heavy, too cakey, and making you just look older and age, because sometimes that's what powders can do. They can age you, they can make you look older, and this one is so light and beautiful. And this one, again, I find, like the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, it has something in here. It has some very, very, very fine like micro shimmers in here that just create the most beautiful luminosity to the skin. I absolutely love this powder. So if you're somebody who has maybe thought about trying this powder out, or you're somebody who has dry skin, or maybe you're a little bit older and you're looking for something that's just gonna add some light coverage without caking you up, without accentuating fine lines, but just is gonna add a little bit of a soft blurring natural effect to the skin, definitely try this one out. Like I said, I use these two interchangeably in my mind. They are very similar. The next powder I want to talk about is actually one that I have not hit pan on yet. I am working on it and I'm getting very close. This is relatively new in my collection. This is the L'Oreal True Match, and I am an in-one. Sorry, I didn't even tell you. I'm a medium in this one, and in this one I am in porcelain, 110 porcelain. But in this one I'm an in-one soft ivory, and this is, again, a very new product in my collection. I've had this maybe about 6 months, and I cannot believe I have never tried this powder before. It is so soft, it's so smooth. Again, it does the same thing. It just adds that beautiful layer of blurring natural coverage without being cakey or heavy. I don't know what else to say. This is just what these powders do for me. It's so soft. I've got the same positive as this one, is that this line has an amazing array of shades for different skin tones, which I think is fantastic. And it's just a beautiful powder. It's just a gorgeous powder and I absolutely love it. I use this to set my foundation a lot, generally with more dewy foundations, because I do feel comfortable using this all over my face. It's just fantastic. The last powder I want to talk about, you guys have heard me talk about a lot. It was in my yearly favorites. I blame Nicole in Walden Polish because she made me get this. She didn't make me get this, but she highly encouraged me to get this. This is the Translucent Crystal Powder Light Reflecting Setting Powder pressed from NARS. I love this stuff. This stuff is magic in a pan. I don't know how it does it, but this is the most beautiful powder. I absolutely love this. Again, I'll use this just with an e.l.f. small tapered brush. And generally what I like to use this powder for is to set my concealer. I used it today. It's the only powder I have on my face. I put on my CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. I put on my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. And then I just use this to set my concealer. And it's beautiful. And it just does something to where even underneath my eyes where I have some dryness and some lines, it just smooths them out. It doesn't completely take them away because in my experience, nothing takes away the bags underneath your eyes. Just part of life, guys. But it definitely helps to smooth them out, hydrate them a little bit, and it just sets your makeup in the most beautiful way without adding anything to the skin. There's no texture to this powder. There's no color to this powder. It's just soft and it just sets it in place, keeps it there all day. I used to have problems where my makeup, my concealer and foundation would break down really bad on my nose and my chin. After using this, I don't have a problem anymore. This is 99% of the time. This is what I'm using to set my set my nose and my chin, even if I don't use it to set my under eyes, because it is so good. This is a more expensive powder. I want to say this is in the $40 to $50 range. I'll have it listed above, but I will definitely be repurchasing it. I think this powder is absolutely worth every single penny, and it is so good. Now I do have one honorable mention, and the reason why it's an honorable mention and not just in my top 5 is because it is being discontinued, but however I have found this powder still in the drugstore on clearance. So if you can find this powder, I highly recommend picking it up. I actually picked up 2 backups. I picked up every one that I could find. But this is the Revlon Nearly Naked Powder, and this is in the shade, I'm in 20 Pale. This is such a beautiful powder. It's so good. It is probably the most luxurious feeling finely milled powder in the drugstore. It is going to give you an extra layer of coverage. It is going to smooth and blur everything out. And my favorite way to use this powder is when I have a foundation that I like the finish on, and I like the way it looks on my skin, but it doesn't have a good wear time, or it doesn't hold together really well throughout the day, I will use this powder to back up that foundation, and it just holds it together. This powder is just so good. There was a while there where I was using the Physicians Formula Cushion Foundation. I think I talked to y'all about it. I really liked the finish. It was a really nice, easy, lightweight foundation, but it would not last on me at all. This powder made that foundation last 8 hours like it was nothing. It was so good. So I tend to use this powder with my cushion foundations with a little bit lighter coverage, just to make sure they are hanging out and lasting on the skin a little bit longer. I absolutely love this powder. I don't know why they're discontinuing it. I'm glad I got some backups. If you see this on clearance in Walgreens or Walmart or wherever it is, I would suggest picking up if you were thinking about it, because it is one of my absolute favorite foundations in the drugstore, or powders in the drugstore. I'm really sad that it's discontinued. Alright guys, so today the channel I want to shout out is a new channel. She kind of found one of my videos and I went and watched hers, and I was like, oh, she's so cute. She's so sweet. She's beautiful. She has got this beautiful like ebony skin, but her name is Makeup by Wanda. She's just, I love her. I love watching her. She just has a lot of fun on her channel. She does reviews, she does tutorials, but she's a new channel, so go check her out and show her some love. I'll link her channel here. I'll also link it in the end, at the end card. Peter likes her too. But as always guys, thank you so much for hanging out and talking about makeup with me. Let me know what your favorite powders are down below. High end, low end. I'd love to hear your opinions. You guys know, creepy stalker status. But as always guys, thank you so much for hanging out and talking about makeup with me. Have an amazing day, have a rockin' week, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.